Guys, and in this episode, we're going to be predicting the 2026 NBA playoffs. So, starting with the play-in, we have here, we'll start with our first game, which is the Heat and the Hornets, which is on in 3 hours. So, I want to make sure I get this out there. So, this is an interesting game. The Heat, if they lose, they can get a higher draft pick. But I know that Eric Spoelstra was really competitive. Even though the Hornets have had a good year this year, I think they're going to fall to the Heat in this play-in game. Our next game is Phoenix Suns versus Portland Trailblazers. I like both these teams. Suns have had a great year, but they've started to kind of fall down a bit. Like there was a point where I thought they could have made an actual playoff top six, and the Blazers have picked up, even though they've had an easy strength of schedule the last month and a half. I think Avdia and Sharp, they're good players, and they're going to carry the team to a victory in the Valley. Um, the next game is the Magic and the 76ers. So the thing is, the X factor of this game is Joel Embiid tomorrow. So I haven't heard anything yet. A appendectomy last week, but I do think the Magic can win this game. It's going to be an uphill battle when they play the Celtics, so that's for sure. Um, the Warriors and Clippers. Right, this is a really interesting one. Um, now with Stephen Curry and all those guys returning, it's going to be really close and down to the wire. And Kawhi Leonard, like he's good, but unfortunately, I just think the Clippers they don't produce enough points when Leonard runs. He likes to take a bunch of mid rangers, and I don't think they're going to be able to handle the Warriors' onslaught. So give me the Warriors. All right. So that's the first round of the play-in. Now the second round of the play-in, we have the Warriors and the Suns against the Heat and the Sixers. So it's two 10-8 matchups, and we have the Warriors and the Suns. We'll start with that one on Friday. This will be Friday night. So the Warriors, even though they have Stephen Curry and Pozemski, like I just think that this is probably the time for Devin Booker and the Suns to really cement themselves and say like, hey, we're here and we're going to improve the next couple seasons and potentially go even further. So I'm going to go with the Suns by like 5 to 10 points. Heat and 76ers. The 76ers, again, with Joel Embiid, his health is the number one thing, number one priority. I do think the Heat are a little well coached, and I think they will make that Eric Spoelstra type run back to the NBA playoffs like they did last year with the 10 seeds. They give me the Heat to advance to the NBA playoffs. All right, and then now here are our teams. So we got the Suns going against the Thunder in the first round. We got the Heat and the Pistons. We got the Rockets and the Lakers. We got the Raptors and the Cavs. We got the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. We got the Hawks and the Knicks. We got Portland, San Antonio, and we got Orlando and Boston. All right, so let's start with the Suns and Thunder. I like the Suns. They got good talent, but I think the first two games are going to go to OKC. One will probably be close, like 5 to 10. The second one will probably be a blowout. Suns will take game three. Um, this isn't not a shock. I think they will get one in game this series, but unfortunately they'll lose game four by 5 to 10, and game five will also be really close. But I'll give it to OKC. Rockets and Lakers. So this is going to be really interesting with just LeBron James going up against Sengun and Durant. I do think the Lakers, however, will take first two games at home, but the Rockets will slowly creep back into the series. They'll take game three. They'll take game four. Right now, I think Luka Doncic will return, so the Lakers will have game five. The Rockets will take game six, and stunning everyone, Luka Doncic will take the Lakers to game seven. So it'll be Lakers versus Thunder in the semifinals. And the Timberwolves Nuggets, both these are really good teams, really good defensive, really good offensively. Nuggets aren't the best defensively, but with Jokic, anything's possible. I think Nuggets will get off and take game one, but Timberwolves will stun and take game two and take game three. And then the Nuggets will get a much needed win in game four. Nuggets will take game five, and the Nuggets will finish off the series in six with Minnesota. So those Timberwolves will blow a 2-1 lead just because even though Anthony Edwards is good, like they just don't have enough firepower and shooting to keep with Jokic. Like they're good, but I think Bones is good and Sumu to watch them, but just replicating that is going to be difficult. Portland, San Antonio. So this is gonna be there's lots of storylines this series. Like Thiago Splitter, this is his old team, so he's going back. I do think that Portland will get a stunner in game one because Wembanyama's not used to playing in the playoffs. This is Spurs' first playoff run after all. And then I think Spurs will take game two, Spurs will take game three, but Blazers will get another stunner in game four, but after that they'll run out of steam and the Spurs will finish them off in six. Um, Heat and Pistons. So I like the Heat. I like that they always try to like push teams. Pistons are this is their first year as a legit contender in my eyes. Like they last year they were the six. They pushed the Knicks. This year I think they will be pushed by the Heat. The Heat will take game one. Pistons will take game two. Heat will take game three. Heat will take game three. Pistons are going to take game four on the road and game five. Heat will take game six. And then Pistons will finally finish them off in game seven, but not a good look. This series right here is the most interesting. Raptors versus Cavs. So we got one team that kind of has a lot to prove and one team that has nothing to prove. So I feel like there's lots of pressure on Cleveland this series to get this done quickly and get it done without struggle. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this team they're going to struggle a lot to the Raptors, and I actually think they're going to lose to the Raptors. I think the Raptors will take game one, and the Cavs will take game two and three. The Raptors will take game four. Raptors will take game five. Cavs will take game six. But then Raptors win a stunner on the road in the last seconds of game seven, and the Raptors will advance to play the Pistons. Hawks and the Knicks. All right, so there's no Trae Young, but the bad blood between these two teams seem to be running still cold. The Hawks have been on a tear recently. They've only lost like 2, 3 games in the last 2.5 months. So like the Hawks, they're gonna start this series off pretty hot. Like I think they're gonna win game one. The Knicks will win game one, but they'll win game two, game three, and game four. But then Mike Brown will make some changes, and the Knicks will force a desperate comeback to win game five, game six, and then win a really close game at the buzzer potentially in game seven. All right, the Celtics and the Magic. Um, the thing is, a couple months ago, I feel like no one wanted to see the Magic team, but like their offense is just man, it's too forced, and there's just no space when I watch them play. When I watch the Magic play, it's just like they just don't flow right. And the Celtics, they can take advantage of this. I'm calling it for what it is. It's gonna be a sweep, Celtics in four. All right, now we move on to round two. I think we've gotten all our matchups. All right, so we got the Lakers, Thunder in the top part of the West. The bottom part of the West is Nuggets versus Spurs, Pistons versus Raptors, and the top part of the East and the bottom part of the East is Celtics Knicks. All right, we'll start with the Celtics Knicks. All right, so the Celtics, I think we'll take game one. It's not going to be like last year. They will hold down home court for one game, but then the Knicks will take game two. The Knicks will take game three. The Knicks will take game four. Celtics will hold down home court in game five. And then on the road, the Celtics will get an stunning upset, but then unfortunately the Knicks will finish them off in game seven. Raptors Pistons. All right, this is another interesting series. We saw the Raptors beat the Pistons about a month ago, and they were up close to full strength. So the Raptors can be good teams. The Raptors will win game one on the road, but then Pistons, I think, will finish off the rest of the series with a gentleman's sweep. Give me the Pistons. All right, Lakers Thunder. So I think by now we can assume that Luka is probably back to full strength. I don't know about Reeves. I think he's still gone. But with Luka, they can do a lot of damage. So I think they will win game one in the stunner. Thunder will come back and win game two and game three. Lakers will hold on and win game four. Game five will go to OKC. And I think, unfortunately, game six will also go to OKC. Even though I want Lakers to take them down. Thunder just looking really good this year. So I get the Thunder the edge. And in our final series of the second round, the Nuggets versus the Spurs. All right. In this series, I think the Nuggets are really good. They're really talented, and they're going to create a lot of problems with the Spurs. They play two different styles. The Spurs wear you down with their power. The Nuggets wear you down with speed, and they like to get out and run. And I think the Spurs are just not used to this. I think they split the first two games. Nuggets take game one, Spurs get take game two. Game three goes to the Spurs, but then Nuggets will take the next two. And then the Spurs will take it one on the road, and the Nuggets will also take one on the road to finish them off. So now we'll get to our conference final. So I got two series, and then one more series after this, the NBA Finals to predict. So we got both 1-3 matchups, which are both really good. We got Knicks Pistons and Thunder Nuggets. So I think the Thunder will take game one and game two in this series because the Nuggets will have struggled on defense. Nuggets will take game three in a thriller. The Thunder will take game four in an upset. But then the Nuggets will storm into Oklahoma and take game five and game six. But they'll fortunately run out of steam to try and make the 3-1 comeback. So the Thunder will finish them off in game seven, just like last year, but it'll be in the conference finals. Knicks and Pistons. This is a really interesting series. The Knicks, unfortunately, like their sloppiness is gonna get it ahead of them. Pistons will take game one, but the Knicks will come back in game two. And the Pistons will take game three, four, and five to finish off. So in our final NBA Finals will be Detroit Pistons versus Oklahoma City Thunder. Um, so I think both these teams are really, really talented. They got really good coaches. JB Bickerstaff, he knows what's to do. And Thunder, they got Daigneault, so like he's a really good coach too. Like we saw that game a couple weeks ago, and that was without Cade Cunningham. During these Pistons are difficult to put away. So I think the Thunder will win game one, but the Pistons will win game two. Thunder will win game three. Pistons will win game four. In a really close battle, the last couple of seconds, Thunder will eke out game five and not give enough energy to push those Pistons out in six. And the Thunder will be back-to-back NBA champions. So here is our bracket. As you can see, lots of close matchups. The finals is going to be really close. Even these first round matchups are relatively close. But I think ultimately this is what's going to happen. Thank you guys for listening.